Hello, listeners. Today we are going to talk about purpose and how it relates to, obtaining outer life help for our inner understanding so that we can greater seek, appreciate our purpose. How was your weekend, Kate?
It was good.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
It's snowy here,
It is an Arctic blast.
It is an Arctic blast. Did you do anything fun? Or did you kind of stay in?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think we pretty much stayed home.
Yeah.
It all runs together now.
I took my hats off on Sunday, the many hats I wear for
Good
a little
for
while,
you.
for a bit. And while the snow fell gently, I watched this amazing show that I discovered called Riot Women. It's a UK-based show, and it's about these women it's on BritBox.
I'm writing it down.
Yes. And it's about these women who are menopausal, maybe a couple of them perimenopausal.
Okay, that tracks
who
for us.
Start a rock band. It's kind of right up my alley.
Yeah, it is.
I'm loving it. It takes place in West Yorkshire. I've been there. I love it there. I just think it is a show, when we're talking about purpose, I just think it can resonate with women across the lands. So
I haven't seen it, and I'm getting a feeling
it's new.
inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least it's new here.
Yeah.
I think my friends who I spoke with in Glasgow the other day, they've seen it. So, and I was, don't tell me the rest. Don't tell me what happens. But I think listeners may find it relatable because the characters really find their purpose. Some of them have been living their purpose for a long time. They're rediscovering their next purpose, what feels purposeful to them. And I just think it's in alignment with the things we talk about here, the strength of the female energy. There are many ways that we can seek outside of ourselves, help, understanding. Some are conventional, some not so conventional, right?
Yes.
But maybe no less helpful. And you and I did an interesting thing the last week or so. We looked up our astrological karmic reports.
Which I had never heard of before. Very interesting. Very exciting.
Yes.
It took me 3 days to read through it the first time, and then I had to go back and reread it again to absorb. And I you can see all the highlighting here. I pretty much highlighted the whole thing because I'm like, oh my gosh, and that and this, oh my God, it's all making sense. It's all coming together. A lot of this work is internal.
Yes.
You need that external validation sometimes to really believe what's going on inside your head.
Especially, we have listeners who are like you, more like you, lovely linear Kate. And I am not as logical, but I find such truth in that.
Yeah.
So what did you discover?
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. I downloaded 2 of them, the past life karmic report and the supplemental piece. I highlighted this part. You have possibly spent prior lives as a prominent political leader.
There you go.
Or in another area where discipline and accomplishment were valued highly. I mean, the political thing, that's right on the nose, but accomplishments were highly valued. Yes, I am so much a box checker. And if there's something that's not on the list that I did, I'm putting it on the list so I can check the box because I did it. I have accomplished that. Woo!
Yes. And mine says nothing about politics. It's so specific.
Weird.
I believe astrology is an ancient science.
Yeah.
I had taken classes in it a long time ago. I'm not a mathematician. I lasted a few days before I was like, oh. And then suddenly there's the internet and it can line up all of the facts and figures for you in a millisecond.
Yes.
Your birth date, your time of birth, the things that can come from this are really pretty amazing. And we just went to Cafe Astrology, which I just want to give a shout out to.
Absolutely.
Because they can pull these things together and they will be eerily specific to you.
Oh, I have since gone on. My sisters have had their birthdays since then. I gifted them their reports for their birthday.
Such a good idea.
Right? And then I've downloaded reports for my kiddos because it even says on the website that this is an opportunity for you as the parent, as the caregiver, to have a better insight into what their lessons are, which will only aid you in bringing them up.
Absolutely.
Give them some additional
I think
guidance.
it's really important. When my daughter was being born, I kid you not, it was 9 o'clock on the cusp between Libra and Scorpio.
Get out. Oh, that's right, because her and I have similar birthdays.
That's right. I'm saying to the doctor, we have 3 hours. My parents are Scorpios. I never dated with a Scorpio, seriously. And it's just a lot of Scorpios in my life. I thought Libra would be a little bit easier, softer, maybe. I am saying, no Pitocin, let's just have the emergency C-section. So, she's going to be on the other side of Scorpio. She's going to be a Libra. Technically, she is. By 3 hours, we did it.
Congratulations.
And I know they did think that was really strange. They were like, this girl, right? But now it does make sense, because I have to also say, for cusp babies out there, if you're born on the cusp, if you're born usually around the 21st or the 22nd a month, it's not going to be an easy time for you. I mean, I'm a psychic medium by trade, but I know a lot about astrology. I'm interested in it, because you're going to be kind of riding this fence between being two completely different signs. That can be a bit challenging. And so you're close enough to know that feeling.
A lot of the report talked about that, and that's a theme that's carried throughout my life. I always felt like I've been literally sitting on a fence with one foot on two different camps, never feeling like I fully fit in either, but still having to move forward in a confident manner no matter where I'm at.
Yes. So give yourself grace if you are a cusp baby.
100%.
You know, whatever happens. But this karmic report thing is very interesting, because we're talking about our ancient, distant past. How do we bring it into the future? The moon, from a karmic perspective, is really where you look to see your incarnated experiences in the past on Earth. Where the sun reveals, the report says, your intended purposes and lesson for the present life cycle. The moon represents what you have already done and developed. So mine said, in your incarnational past, you developed an acute psychic sensitivity. You have a capacity to deeply know a person empathically. So I'm skipping through, and it also goes on to say, in prior times you experienced great personal instability as a result of impersonal collective impulses toward change during a time of revolution, political upheaval, war. I always feel very strongly about, I think I've mentioned that I was conceived in Northern Ireland during the time of the Troubles.
Yes.
No coincidence.
No
coincidence there. And I would have wanted that, and still would like change there, right?
Yeah.
But it goes on to say, you experienced a terrible betrayal and may have even been tortured or put to death when you claimed your power, social, political, spiritual, and been called a witch. Yeah.
Sad, but unfortunately all too common.
Yes, unfortunately very common. For a few hundred years in Scotland, and I feel really connected to Scotland. I've actually been to a place. There's a place in this field, and it says Mary Bell was burned here as a witch, and I think 1657 or something. I've been there.
That's heavy.
People still honor the women, 80% women, 20% were men, who were called that. Of course, they're just human beings who had a voice. It was really a powerful thing to be there, because everyone deserves to have a voice and to be heard. And this is what we talk about. Like, we just need to come to the table with all of our differences and discuss things. So anyway, it says you can access higher dimensions. You have opened your channels through prior spiritual development. So now at this point, it does come easily to me, psychic insight, the moment of that channeling, comes pretty easily. But for the listener, you may want to just investigate your own karmic chart, your own astrological chart. It's not the first thing that most podcasts start with, where to look for outside help for your inner life. But we wanted to start with that because that was something that profoundly recently did resonate with us.
Very much so. And like I said, I've already gifted it to other people, and I'm telling everybody about it. It's just nice to have some additional, what you're doing does make sense, even though it might not seem like it in the moment. Here's some background information.
I think it's really interesting, because if I was like burned as a witch and you were in politics, I think we were probably aligned somehow. You probably tried to help me.
Yes.
Versus the other way.
Yeah. Because
I know you.
I
agree. feel that with us. So it just makes one wonder, doesn't it? Friends.
So, yes.
Your chart is really heavy on the political. Mine is about having a voice and being part of a revolution, probably different ones.
It mentions in, I guess all three of the reports, a lot about my spiritual abilities, but I was too afraid to speak up. So this lifetime is about getting rid of that fear and speaking the truth and helping change things on a bigger level.
And mine was to just continue to do that and not speak up.
Yes.
It meant death in the past. I've always felt that. I tell you that Scotland now has a tartan that is specifically, it's an official tartan. I ordered a scarf. It honors those who were killed as quote-unquote witches. When we talk about more linear things, or the things that one would
Yeah.
expect we would start with.
Yes.
We should do that too. What?
Yeah. So
Other things that may
if
help
you're
you.
not feeling the astrology aspect of things, there's also more logical opportunities and resources like therapy.
Yes.
Or a life coach. If you're lucky enough to have healthcare, it could be covered. A therapist could be covered under that. It is a valuable resource to help you see things from a different lens, delve deep into why certain things are happening, or like why you're having feelings about certain things anyway.
To listen to your feelings,
Yeah.
validate you.
Yes.
Also see where you might really be stuck and not realize it. Because I really do believe that everyone is in therapy because they have some belief that is not true. That they just can't get out of some belief that they believe is true that is not true. You know, when I study Course in Miracles, and it is a spiritual psychology, one of the things it says is be willing to see things differently. And I think that means not just a situation, but a person and ourselves.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Give yourself that opportunity to help someone hold your hand when you go through these kinds of challenges, to get through it, to go through the other side of it.
We are a communal species.
Yes.
And having people around you to support you makes sense.
Yes, yes. You know, sometimes I use the analogy of it can be really hard to look at the work that you need to do. Say, for
feels
example,
heavy.
it's heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's really, really heavy. It has to be, if you're changing your life in a really big way, like trying to get sober or realizing you're in an abusive marriage or something, it can be really, really heavy. There are so many ways in which life, it drags you down, and you are in these situations to overcome them. But your mind can play tricks on you. It can say, well, I'll just avoid it for 12, I'll avoid going to rehab for 12 years. But if you just go in for a few short years, you have potentially years to do the work instead of going around things for decades and decades.
Yeah,
right?
quality over quantity.
It takes taking a really close look. And sometimes that's terrifying.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? But if you have a good therapist or life coach holding your hand through it, you're surrounding yourself with supportive people. You have to let everybody know what you're doing, but if you have good friends, close friends who can support you, then you're well on your way to living a better life, which means living more purposefully.
I will say I have been in therapy for, let's do math, which according to my Karmic report says I could potentially have a learning disability,
Oh, right.
which I do. I struggle with dyscalculia. So let me do
Can you
some math
explain
real
what
quick.
that is to people? Because I hadn't heard of it
It's
before.
like dyslexia, but with numbers. So I'm
Gotcha.
constantly transposing numbers, which when you're balancing your checkbook
Oh,
can
that
be
would
detrimental.
be really challenging for you. And you are such a linear person. I would imagine it'd be frustrating
Yeah.
at times for
So,
you.
so now that I've had some time to think about the math, I've been seeing a therapist for over 30 years, and I'm very confident in the fact that if I had not done that, I would not be where I am today.
Yes, yes.
That it took a long time.
Yeah, the help can be immeasurable, and it can take a long time.
But it was worth it.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you have that. I've gone in and out of it depending on where I felt that I needed the help, and finding the right fit is important. But that can be really different. You can have a really good fit and get really uncomfortable. Do you know? You have to be able to almost tell the difference. You can't cut and run with a good therapist because you don't like that they're holding you to your stuff. Because a good therapist is going to do that and make you very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just like you're at the peak of a 60-day rehab and you're at 30 and you're just like picking up the phone going, get me the F out of here.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you need to say. That's exactly what you need, to just hold the hand a little tighter and carry on. We're not therapists, but I see these kinds of things in my work every day.
Which I think is another important resource that people could use is a psychic.
Yeah, also being discerning about your choice of one.
Yes.
You want someone who truly cares and is going to look at your life a little bit more deeply. I always say to people, I can tell you the fun stuff when you come in, but if I have this gift, let's look a little deeper so I can really help you. Let's take a look at where you're stuck, or what's going on with this person around you, or do you know where you can best move forward. Because sometimes therapy, and I love therapy and therapists and psychologists, like really good ones, but sometimes I feel like it can, in my work, I'm not really keeping you in the past for 10 years. Like in one session, I'll just be like,
That's true.
I know therapists are like, oh my God, I try to like look at now. This is where you are now. This is what I see. This is what I've seen in the past. This is where I see kind of moving into the future. But this is where I really see you now. Let's like start from there.
Some accountability with a psychic, right? Somebody who truly has the ability to look into your life. You can hold somebody accountable and say, but I see this happening. Talk to me about this. And if it's something that they want to hide, there's no hiding.
Yeah, there's no hiding. That is true. Someone can come in and I can see beyond. I can see both sides of the story, so to speak, and I will have compassion for both sides of the story. But I think that's what's necessary. Yeah. It's not about being right. It's about being happy. So I will see the truth. Yes. Right? I'll see the truth, and I really do try to bring that up. And I'll say with every ounce of love, I'm bringing this up, but this is really what I'm seeing, where we can see things differently. And once in a while, there's a situation where it's like, no, just run, get out.
Yeah, that's true.
Every reading is really, really different. But I think and I hope that they can be entertaining, the work that I do, but I like to go a bit deeper with people. Yeah. That makes sense. Let's take a look at what really matters here.
Based on your karmic report, that is what you were meant to do.
I've always felt that. Yeah, I've always known that. And I don't do it alone because, I have a really strong faith. And it's so interesting in session with people. Like, we'll get chills and things will happen. And in the room together, we can really feel like that's a real sacred space together. One of my favorite places to be, that with my daughter. But it's my favorite thing in the world to do. It is my purpose. My clients know what I'm talking about. They're listening. Like this sacred space that I bring us into. So sometimes people are a little tired after whatever. That's okay. I am too. And because we kind of come back down, to earth. So another kind of earthly thing that we can do.
Yes, and it's a little bit simpler. So just finding a friend or a mentor that you can consult with. I know that I have a group of women who I can call and I can rely on, even if it's just to say, hey, is this perimenopausal rage? Or should I really scream at this person right now?
Or somewhere in the middle.
Apparently once the hormones kick in, there will be a middle again. There's no middle right now.
I get it. I really feel for you. I miss that.
I did pick up my patches.
Really?
Yeah, they're in the bag right here.
Help?
I'm carrying them. Well, I got them yesterday. I forgot them in the car. So apparently I have to, after I get ready for bed tonight, I will put it on my first patch and begin my journey, HRT journey.
Wow.
Very exciting development in my life. But yeah, having somebody who's there just, again, to listen, to validate. And these people, especially if it's a group of friends, or if it's a mentor who you've really created this strong bond with, they will call you out on your shit. They will tell you when you're being ridiculous or over the top.
Absolutely.
My youngest sister is really good at doing that. I will call and I will be so annoyed and she will just take a deep breath and, who cares, Kate? Does it really matter? Like, whatever. Why are you upset about this? I called for you to be upset with me. She's like, it's not something to be upset about. And then, okay, fine. And then I can readjust and let it go.
Yeah, it gives you some perspective.
Yeah.
It gives you some perspective. And there's accountability in that too.
Right.
I think I mentioned I was taking this Course in Miracles class with Marianne Williamson for a year. So we meet monthly. And there was a gentleman on one of the calls, I won't say his name, but he was having difficulty with this particular person in his life. And he was saying, I really don't treat them well. I'm very much aware that I don't treat this person well. And I really need help. Like, how do I just not do that? And, I love her. She is a mentor of mine in many ways. Since my daughter we would go to the Unitarian Church in Warren when she was in Detroit, when my daughter was a baby. And my daughter was baptized there. And then we did go to a little Buddhist ceremony too.
Aww.
Where we just did, make peace flags I asked her for what, honey? And she said the dolphins, which I thought was so beautiful. So
dolphins need peace
yes.
too.
Anyway, I digress. He's saying, I really need help. I'm not treating this person well. I don't know how to not do this. I just seem to catch myself doing this over and over. And she goes, I have the answer. I know just what to tell you to do. I know. And he's just waiting with bated breath, right? Many people, what is it? She goes, well, just stop doing it, right? The truth is, we can be accountable. We can make that decision. We don't have to just keep doing the same thing that we've done. That doesn't feel good to another person. Doesn't feel good to us. We can decide to just stop doing it. We're talking about things that do open pathways to get closer to our purpose. Because if we just cog the wheel all the time with things like that, then you're thinking about things like that instead of doing the thing that would be with love or with more purpose.
This brings up gentle parenting for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can do it to an extent, but you get in those moments where you're just so tired and frustrated and you start to lose it. And still, I know that I can take a deep breath.
Yes.
And not scream at them.
Yes, and that is the most important time to not do that, because they need to see that you're in control. They might be feeling a bit out of control, and they need to see your solidity. If you're giving them out of control, that is what makes a child feel very unsafe and not protected. It's so there's wisdom in you stopping and checking in with yourself that way. There's also wisdom in holding boundaries firm and right.
Yes.
So you're remembering that you're the parent, but how you handle things, it's not just what we say, how we say it that matters too. So I commend that. It's not easy to do in those moments because you feel like you're going to lose your mind. You don't want to lose your mind. You feel like you're going to.
Yes. I will say that was a skill, though, that I built through educating myself, through therapy, through my readings together.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Remember when I saw you at the board?
Yes. That's the reason I kept going down this path. Anytime I had an opportunity to be on a board or running
Did I see you at a round table? Is that what I was saying? I'm actually trying to remember. Because often I don't remember my readings, but I remember you brought it up.
Or like some kind of board table. I don't know.
Yes.
But
I was like, oh, girl, you're going to be doing something.
Wendy said I'm going to be running the show. I'm just going to keep doing things that puts me on that path, and I'll figure it out. Like, it's going to just speak to me one day. I'll be like, this is what I was supposed to be doing.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, though. I'm sorry.
Well, I think it's important to point out, like, that's how it happens. It's not immediate. And all of these, but I still have the ability as a human. Free will, yes. To
you
decide
have a free will
to
do it differently.
Yeah.
Or to do it later, or to not do something at all. That's the beauty of our lives. There is so much more fated. I do think we're in a lot less control than we think we are. But we do have a lot of free will. It works with fate, and it's a great teacher for us. But if you just keep leaning into what it is that lights you up and what you do feel blissful about and what you're really called to do, then you really can't make a mistake. You are always exactly where you need to be, either because you've heeded the call, the fated call, or because you haven't.
This is true.
Right? So if you haven't and you're like, whoa, well, let's go back to the drawing board. That's okay. I think everyone does that at some point. We talked about, where do you want to educate yourself further? Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to just take a training class in something? Like, where, if you're finding a new interest, just jump in and see if it feels right to you.
Yes. I think that's important in all aspects of your life.
Yes.
Who was I to know that the careers that I've had up to this point were what I would do? I had never heard of organizational development when I was in high school.
Right.
So somebody offered me a job. Just felt like let's just do it. Turns out I love it.
And you love it.
Yeah.
And you're good at it.
Oh, thank you.
Right?
I think so.
So it can take time to feel that purposefulness. I mean, what you're doing is purposeful. Sometimes it takes time, age even, to have a certain confidence with it. And that's okay too. Like, don't worry that you're not sure. Don't worry that you're not 100% confident. If you really do just kind of go into the direction or follow those paths that kind of look exciting to you or look interesting to you, as long as they're causing no harm and it's something that you're going to do that is going to help people in the world by sharing what you know or what you create, then you are on the right path, even if it's not 100% clear yet.
Well, and your tree has a lot of branches.
Yes.
You gotta explore them all.
It is true. It really is true. So that's wonderful.
In that same vein, maybe you don't want to pay for classes or you're still unsure what skill you're looking to build. There's opportunities to volunteer.
Yes.
Volunteer anywhere and everywhere you can, because it's information. You need information in order to make a decision.
Giving back is so important when you're stuck. A lot of the time, people who are down or depressed, if you just, I always say it, like, call it walking the dog, like walk a friend's dog, give of yourself in some other way. You may be able to volunteer even more and with less stress.
Yes.
So if you're someone who has a lot of abundance financially, and you're someone who doesn't quite know where to start, and you're at home and the home is taken care of, and the family's taken care of, maybe the kids have grown and you have more time on your hands, and you love animals, volunteer to help animals.
So the
If
first
you
thing
love
I thought
children,
was
yeah,
volunteer
yeah.
at a pet shelter.
Yes.
Maybe you'll decide to adopt a pet.
Yes.
Maybe you'll be taking that dog out for a walk and you meet somebody else, and that's when you realize, like, that's why this happened, because I was supposed to meet this person and now I have a new job.
Yes, it can change. Things
Yeah.
can change very, very quickly.
We are our own main character in our story, and we are other people's supporting cast. So even if it's not what you're meant to do, you're helping this other person find their way, and that's just as important.
Yes, and you're helping, if you're working with you're helping all these animals.
Yeah.
I remember once I was in Marina Del Rey. I was on a whale watching thing because I love going out whale watching. I love going into the ocean and seeing dolphins and whale. And I thought, I said, well, how can you do this every day? And I talked to somebody about, you can volunteer to be a part of that.
Really?
Every day. When I lived in LA. But what I've done personally is I was a hospice volunteer. I went through that training.
Oh, nice.
It was connected, like you said, many branches of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected to the work that I do. And my family thought it was really funny because a lot of the time I've been the last person with somebody in the family before they go.
Okay, so nobody wants to be alone with you.
Which can sound suspicious, but I think it's just that I give them permission.
Yeah.
And love to carry on in a safe place to stop struggling and say,
That's beautiful.
It's okay. A lot of us want to hold on. When somebody's at the end, we don't want them to go. We can pull them close. It's all forgiven even if you do that, but I realize that the easier, better way is probably to just be there and allow them to go when it's really their time. They will go. But yeah, it was kind of a joke in the family. Like, well, go see Hattie before Wendy does. I literally was with her in her last breath.
Really?
Such an honor. That's my great grandma. She was late 90s.
I thought you were just making that up. I love the name Hattie.
Yeah.
It was a top 3 for me for my kiddos. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's adorable.
Well, I think the name Kate is pretty great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always wanted to be Kate.
Yeah, I did. I love the name. And when I was young, or in college, and we'd go out, if I didn't want to tell somebody my first name, I'd say, I'm Kate.
Ironically, when I was little, it was not Wendy, but I always wanted to be Michelle. And I would yell at my mom if she would call me Kate. No, my name is Michelle. All my dolls were Michelle. I have no idea why, but that's the joke.
It is interesting because sometimes, even that, we talk about karma and past lives and things. If people used to call me Heidi as a child. I can understand Lindy, like if something sounds like Wendy.
Yeah.
But Heidi isn't really the same as that. And there were numerous people that would call me Heidi as a child. That feeling where I want to be a Michelle, or you just wonder.
Yeah.
You just wonder. If you don't feel like your name, and there is a very specific name that you feel more like, it does make you wonder, could I have been that name?
The Karmic report, circling back. I mean, guys, all of these things are super important, and I support each of them 100%. This is just right in front of me, and it was so spot on to be something from the internet. I just can't even get over it. In this report, it says that based on what's happening, you may require past life regression. And right out of the bat, the first one at the very end is like, yes, you should do this. So
Really?
I'm curious to go back and see, maybe I was a Michelle.
It is very interesting. I have done that twice.
I'll take recommendations out there.
Okay, yes, I'll tell you. It can be really profound. It can also be very difficult because it's not always easy things that you see about yourself or other people. It can be pretty...
Yeah, there are some parts of this report that make me think, I wouldn't even want to be in the same neighborhood as this woman.
Well, yes, because we're so multifaceted as human beings.
I've learned a lot of lessons, I will say that, up
Yes.
until this point, which is why I am where I am today.
Allow the lessons to come and just learn from them and just carry on.
Yeah.
You don't have to dwell in pain and suffering forever. This astrology thing is an ancient science. The internet makes it really easy to pull, this planet is in this house at this time.
Right.
Let's take a look at that. What does that mean for you? Or it's more complicated than that. Again, I'm not an astrologer. But there's some, when you actually look at this, there is some real truth to it. And I think we all need a good team of people around us, So you look at the therapist, life coach, really great political leaders, really great ones. We need more. We need more. Can more people please go into politics that are really amazing and smart and humanitarian?
I've got lots of resources. We need, especially women, we need to have some level of parity in the people that make up those folks who set laws for this land. I'm dedicated and very passionate about bringing people in, explaining what it is, because honestly, people have no idea. They just see public comment or they see news stories, and that's just a tiny part of it. Like the actual job, the actual work is incredibly fulfilling and light and joyful.
Yes. Where could someone get started? Where would be a place where people who are listening and going, I want to be involved with change. I don't know exactly where to start. I do have a voice. I'm willing to look at every side. Opportunities. And I want to do good in the world. And I feel drawn to this, and I'm not quite sure where to start. Can you help people understand?
They can reach out. I'm happy to have conversations with anybody. I've had 2 in the last 2 days, and it's only Monday. Reach out to, if you're thinking about school board, reach out to the folks that are already on. Reach out to the superintendent. You're looking to go to the next level, talk to your mayor, your village manager, village president, whatever you happen to have. Other really great educational opportunities would be Great Lakes Political Academy. They have different trainings, no matter if you're thinking about being a candidate or if you want to work on a campaign, because that's also important. Those movements are massive, and we need the people to do the things and get the boots on the ground to spread messages. Vote, Run, Lead, Action also offers some incredible training.
Voting is hugely important.
Yes,
Simple thing
and everybody vote. Be an educated voter. Don't just talk to the people in your immediate circle. Look at websites, read articles, reach out to the campaign itself to get more information.
So it sounds like, you don't have to go, oh my gosh, we have to figure out on some global level in the moment. You can start local.
Local is so powerful because those are when the decisions immediately impact the community.
It's like a wave that can spread out
Absolutely.
to affect the collective in a more global way, really. And energy does that too. Sending energy works. Prayer works. I always think about that experiment they did a long time ago. These water in a petri dish. What was prayed over turned into these beautiful forms, and what wasn't didn't do a lot. So prayer is energy, and it's just directed energy, and meditation can be that too. You can't underestimate the need to send out really good energy. It was so funny the other day. I got a new dryer.
Oh, yes.
The new dryer was not working. I have not, for 3 weeks in the winter in Michigan. Okay. So I'm grateful to have a dryer. I'm really grateful for all the little things.
Are you just warming up all of your clothes now whenever you put them on?
Weekend, I watched Riot Women and did laundry.
Sounds
because,
amazing.
our weeks are very busy Monday through Friday pretty much. So my friend called, and I was just like beside myself. I had waited. The store I purchased it from was closed. Anyway, long story short, in the middle of our conversation, she also has a strong faith. She goes, let's just say a little prayer about it. And I said, okay, but I didn't feel, I was like, I was having a moment. I don't even know if you want to talk to me right now, because I am in distress and I need to calm myself down. I'll call you back. She goes, no, let's just say a little prayer for what was going on with her, a little prayer for the dryer to somehow work, and that was it. And I kind of giggled. She goes, you're giggling as if, you really need to feel it one day. I go, no, I have my eyes closed on this end, and I really did in that moment feel it. But now I got to figure out how to, right? It was ironic. It's not up to me to figure it out when I just say the prayer about it.
Yeah.
3 hours on a Friday night, I'm trying to figure out how to fix this myself.
This brand new dryer.
Yes. So the guys left it, said it works, it's great, and then it wasn't. The tech said there's a gas line issue, it's an installation issue. The next morning I woke up and I thought, well, yes, the gas was on behind the dryer. saw that, had a new line that was installed, followed the new line to the main gas. It was not on.
Oh.
I jumped out of bed, ran down, turned it on, dried clothes.
It worked.
All weekend. And it worked.
Oh, yay.
The answer just came. Energy was, where is the problem? Let's fix the problem. I believe, said a little prayer, had to let it go because I was not enjoying myself in that state. Nor was my friend enjoying me in that state.
And it's important that you recognize that and you moved on.
Right? And I love that she's like, let's just say a little prayer because, like, we know miracles can happen and da-da-da. It didn't come to me in that state. I had to let it go.
Blocked.
I was blocked.
Yeah.
I had to let it go. I had to just sleep on it. I had to wake up the next morning, right? It was like, give it a day or something again. Mm-hmm. And the answer was there. I literally jumped out of bed, went downstairs and changed it, and it worked.
Look at
something?
You can put appliance repair person on your resume now.
God, no. God, no. That is not my forte.
It's not your purpose.
No, it's not. But I'm really grateful for the people who do it well.
Yes.
Purpose it is. Everyone's life looks so unique and is so purposeful in so many millions of different reasons. That's what makes life so grand. That's what getting to know other people so grand. It's so wonderful. Yeah.
I agree.
It's important to connect and talk and about anything.
The more you know yourself, the richer those conversations can be.
The world does change, and it changes from lots of little decisions you make about what to do with your energy and your time. And connecting with another person is never a waste of time when it's a two-way street. Right?
Yeah. All right, listeners. It's been wonderful. I really want somebody to contact us and let us know which of these things you're already using or we've inspired you to use, and then what's the result? Did you sign up for a class about dryer repair because you're like, I really want to be able to bring joy to people by fixing their appliances? Or are there volunteer opportunities that you've been thinking about, or maybe an interesting one that you came across that you've never heard before? Share with us, let us know, because we want to celebrate along your journey with you.
Yeah. Email us at
livingwithpurposepod@gmail.com.
Perfect.
See you next time.
Thanks for listening.